Where did we leave off? Oh yeah, cream cheese in the wheel wells. There's no nice refreshing cucumber bagel here though. We're in the laborious drudge of making something big that has lots of little blemishes in it, not have lots of little blemishes in it. All you can do is keep chipping away. You'll see what I did there in a sec, when I start grinding out and filling literally every stone chip in the underbody. First though, let's finish the last two wheel wells and see whether pulling part of the rollover hoop off will destabilize the body. See these bolts either side of this leg in the body shell? They hold a bracket on each side of the car that in turn supports the boot floor when it's installed. I'm not sure if the roofing bolt is factory or not, it could easily be. Expect it and all of this in lovely custom stainless steel before I'm done. Hey, it's always nice when your shell doesn't collapse onto the floor, by the way, isn't it? If you were gonna make your own gel coat, you'd be mixing silica into resin at a specific ratio, I'm sure. One I didn't even attempt to look up, despite knowing that if I put too much in, it might make the filler porous. I just want resin that won't slump out of the holes I need to put it in, and yeah, I should have done it more diligently. But I don't think the mix I've made will be porous, and this is all getting a coat of paint anyway. Begs the question, why did I bother pigmenting it? Well, I tried the pigment for the first time in the last round of work, and I had the suspicion I could have used a lot less. So I'm basically just playing around with it to see how little I could use. Anyway, every one of these repairs has to be flatted back. So let's make a start into that, and don't worry, there's only so much you need to see. This is a mistake, or better described as an ill-conceived repair. It's where the coil is mounted in normal circumstances, and it must have gotten a knock somewhere along the road. What I should be doing, what I'll likely have to come back and do, is cut out the middle section where it's barely hanging on by a thread anyway, and just bridge the gap with new mat and resin. I'd rather not mount the coil here, to be honest, but that's a head scratcher for another day. Using pigmented resin for a repair is weird. I guess because it's opaque, so shows up all the strands of the mat, and they don't look wetted out enough. Now this was a tricky area to repair, and it wasn't the only damaged part of the engine bay either. Like I mentioned earlier, I didn't do it the ideal way. So once it all cures, I'll tug at it, and if I'm anything but 100 cement happy, I'll pull it back apart and go again. I've been consorting with troublemakers again. They're always knocking around my house saying,
"Come and use our lathe. Come and make things in stainless steel. You know you want to."
That was an actual recording. And I do want to. I always want to. I've actually been on a couple of trips out to Stevie B and the fabricators for folding and lathing. But I was waiting on some bar stock to arrive so I could make a proper start on the replacement seatbelt anchor plates and handbrake bracket that has some solid bar mounting posts incorporated in it. I had some suitable stuff left over from back when I made a replacement chassis cross brace in stainless to replace the one that had already been replaced with a ridiculously heavy solid steel bar. I bored an extra section of it out at the time so that I'd have enough to make a matching brace bar if I ever took the notion later on. So the first thing was to cut that off to get to the good stuff. I'm doing two things wrong here. Not using a center drill is the big one. That's a tiny bit used to establish a perfect center or before the main drill gets going. I found out the hard way that not using one can leave you with a bore that wanders way off center. Irony is, there was a center drill sitting right behind the chuck on the lathe headstock. As for the other mistake...
Oh, it's the other way, isn't it?
Yep. If it's your workpiece that's spinning rather than the drill bit, then it needs to spin in the opposite direction. Now I have all the bits, enough to make 2 new seatbelt anchor plates and 2 handbrake lever mounts. Why am I making new seatbelt anchors when the originals look fine? Well, they are fine, except for the threads in the anchor itself. They're the worst for wear. Plus, I've heard tale of sills being removed to service these plates, only to find there was barely anything left of them, and I want to know that's not going to be a possibility in the future. As for the handbrake, well, I have a cunning plan to try and custom fit a fly-off style lever so that it'll fold flat in the inner sill trim and make ingress for ejects easier. But let's digress. In the intro, I went full bravado with my prized laurel bestowed on me by the Overcrest Film Festival. It's actually been there in the intro for a few months now, but I wanted to make sure you know about Overcrest. The people there are doing something long overdue in raising up interesting and unique automotive content on YouTube. They organise beautiful opportunities for us petrolheads too, from a touring rally and the film festival to podcasts and even a scholarship. Check them out via the link in the description, and if nothing else, have a look at their best automotive films of 2024, where yours truly picked up the Best Editing Award, and very proud of it I am too. You'll find that video via the Stanceworks YouTube channel, and if that in itself isn't of interest to you, I guarantee you'll find other channels you never imagined existed. To my patrons, you're making this Esprit dream possible. So to Charlie Putt, Patrick Ferguson, Benjamin Stokes, Christopher Stevens, Michael Gillen, Thomas McEwen, John Hardy, Eric Doyle, Jonathan Bowden, James Langdon, Leudas Baxis, Christopher Eli, James Warner Horn, John Temple, Thomas Childs, Marcel Blevins, Chris Stoddart and Simon Pollan, and all my patrons, thank you for supporting my work. There is a link in the description to support options, the best of which for me is by direct subscription via PayPal, but there's something to suit everyone. That's it for this time. I'll see you very shortly with what I hope will be the finale of work on this body shell, and then we'll be into the real resurrection. Until then, do the most important thing and stay stuck in on your own project. I'll see you soon. Good luck.